Okay, so today we're going to make a vegetarian bean stew. And this is a very low fat, low cholesterol meal, and it's really good for if you're on any type of that sort of diet. It's a little bit something different that you can make in a slow cooker. And today we're going to be using the 3-quart slow cooker, and everything should fit in there just about right. So let's go over the ingredients real quick. For the fresh ingredients, we're going to have about an onion, large onion diced, 3 to 4 medium-sized carrots peeled and sliced, a couple cans of corn. You can also use a package of frozen corn as well. I'm going to drain these before I add them. We've got 1 can, 14 and a half or 15 ounce can of pinto beans, and we're going to rinse and drain those. We've also got kidney beans. We're going to rinse and drain those. We have a can and a half. What you need is about 15 ounces, 14 and a half to 15 ounces of diced tomato and chili. And so since these are 10-ounce cans, I'm going to have a can and a half of those. Another small can of green chilies. You're going to need about 14 to 15 ounces of vegetable stock. You can either buy a can of that or you can make it. I'm using Better Than Bouillon vegetable stock, and I'm just going to mix it up till it kind of tastes like a soup broth. Also for our spices, we're going to have a little fresh cracked ground pepper, a little bit of kosher salt, some couple tablespoons or a couple teaspoons to a tablespoon of minced garlic, and about 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I don't like regular chili powder, and I'm using this chipotle chili powder. It's just got a smokier flavor to it, but any chili powder will do. Alright, so I'm going to get these ingredients prepped up and be right back for the next step. Okay, well, I've got the vegetables cut up. I got all the cans popped open, and my measurements all measured out. Okay, so for the broth, basically what it did was took about 1 big tablespoon, this is a large tablespoon, of the Better Than Bouillon for the 15 ounces of water, and you can see the thickness, and I just, like I said, tried to make it like a broth to where it got a little bit salty. And so that's all I did there. I sliced the carrots, maybe 1/8 of an inch thick, round, and about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch squared onions, just all about the same size. We're going to go ahead and drop those in. I also rinsed and drained the beans. You want to really give these a good rinse and let them drain for a while. And I did the same with the kidney beans. Those were the pinto beans. There go the kidney beans. Canned tomatoes, you can just throw those in with the chilies. So there's about 1.5 cans. I might just throw the rest of it in there if I have room. Corn. One 4-ounce can of green chilies. You can see that I already salt and peppered so you don't have to put any more of that in. I just spilled my chili powder, but you want 1 teaspoon, which is about that. Pour in the broth. And you're going to want a couple extra cups of water. I'm going to start out with 2 extra cups of just plain water, and I might have to add a third if it starts evaporating too much. And of course, 2 good tablespoons of garlic, minced garlic. You could also use fresh garlic chopped, whatever you like. And we're going to go ahead and put this on low for 4 to 5 hours and come back in that time. Oh, and incidentally, this does not have to be a vegetarian. You could actually brown up some ground beef or maybe even a chuck roast and put it in there with it. Make it a little bit more filling and more of a meal. But you don't have to. Or you could do it with or without. Okay, sorry about that. I was getting a phone call on my phone. Alright, so I'm just going to give this a good mix. I got everything in there. And like I said, you could add meat to this. Some fresh ground burger, hamburger would be good. You could brown up a chuck roast like I said, and add that to it. But as it is, it's pretty low fat, low cholesterol, so it is quite a healthy dish the way it is. It's just not going to be very filling. I'm actually going to serve this with some 3 cheese tortellini. I'm going to throw that in and eat it with that, just to make it a little bit more filling. Alright, so I got that all filled up and stirred. Like I said, we're just going to cover it, let it sit for 4 to 5 hours, and come back and check on it. Okay, so this has been going for a little over 5 hours. I had to turn it up to high. The low was just a little too low on this. It wasn't like my big one, but I think it would have been done on a normal slow cooker on low for 5 hours would have been fine, but it just wasn't really getting hot enough on low on this one for whatever reason. So I'm going to serve up some here. I did add a little more salt. I went in and tasted it. It did need a little more salt. And again, like I said, this is very low fat, almost zero fat. I didn't even use any oil to cook it. So it is pretty low fat, low cholesterol. And to me, I just don't think that's going to be very filling. So like I said, I got some cheese tortellini. And I'm going to serve it with that. Any pasta would do. You could use, you could also just put in egg noodles if you wanted to, or macaroni. But like I said, it is very low fat. If you eat it just as it is. And it's fine that way too. I just don't want to be hungry in a half an hour. So there you go. Good vegetarian stew, low fat and low cholesterol, very healthy. I hope you give that a try, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.